Hello and welcome once again to the FwdCompatible podcast. This is episode 75, part 1 for July 14th, 2013. My name's Tony and I'm joined, as always, by my fellow podcasters Jason and Mark. Woo! And our vice host Brian.
What up?
That went so smoothly. I love it. Finally a decent.
Finally got everybody back in the room too.
Yeah, and no, it's just like a nice smooth transition into everybody's names. We're loving the vice host. It's not stuttering to find words to put in front of your guys' names. I still want nicknames for everybody. Like,
I already have a good nickname.
Joined as always by Mark the Shark, Jason the
Tony was never good at rapping.
Basin, and Brian the.
I'm No Fun Berg.
No,
so.
and Brian No Fun Berg. Yeah! That wasn't smooth at all.
No. And since we're doing some other testing, Tony, make sure that you turn around and give a wave.
Hi, everybody. It's Tony. This is what I look like. Face to the voice.
Hi guys, I'm Mark. No, I'm just kidding.
Yeah, this is Mark.
Awful
That's what Mark
voice.
looks like. No, that's Mark. That's Brian. That's Jason. I don't know if you guys have ever seen us.
I doubt it.
All right.
For the people who are just downloading audio, we're recording video today.
We're just we're playing around with stuff.
That probably made no sense to people who listen to us.
No.
Yeah,
point right there.
We're still not sure if we're actually dialing in the video.
Yeah, we're finally testing it.
It's probably the best way to put
It's
this.
one of those old style phones where you have to go,
I'm
I'm
gonna show
Turn
everybody
again,
something
takes a
really
while.
cool, right? Especially since it's on video. Austin,
Why is this a good idea?
just watch.
What are we doing?
Just wait.
See? He's got people that bring him pop. Okay. Yeah, anyway, I don't know if this video is ever actually going to go live, but we decided to try it today.
Otherwise,
So
the first 5 minutes of this cast would just be...
yeah, this is not going to make any sense if this is video only. But, we're dialing it all in, so hopefully this works out. We may post it, we may not.
You
But
need to chasing the bell.
the point is we're getting the point is we're getting closer and closer to
Minion!
finally making this a video cast.
Yeah.
So, but how's everybody's week been going?
I don't want to talk about it. Moving on.
I hope my car isn't being ticketed, totaled, or stolen or something.
Where'd you park at?
Oh, across the street.
Across the street.
Well, we usually do.
Fine.
You're fine.
It's probably stolen.
We don't talk about that.
How was vacay, good sir?
Vacay was awesome.
What'd you do? Anything fun?
We
Anything
got
interesting?
adopted.
Huh?
Yeah, night at a bar. I think I was technically to be family with basically everyone, there. So, good nights.
Crazy times.
Yeah, we went up there, had a wedding up there. Should I go into that right now?
What?
Since you stopped me before. Anyway, there was a wedding for two of my close friends, and it was awesome because they walked into March of the Empire, and when they walked out, it was the when they're getting the.
Sir, it's called the Imperial March.
Oh, okay, sure. Then we got when they were walking out, they were doing the where they're getting the medals in the last one. I don't know what that one's called.
Celebration.
They were walking out to that, which was pretty cool. So yeah.
Fucking A.
Other than that, just a lot of drinking.
I had a wedding that I did a year or two ago, and once they were done, the Imperial Death March played.
Yeah, you were
You
drunk. You
remember
were
Mickey,
drunk
right?
posting
Yeah.
a lot.
When
That
she
one day was the only day I went out
getting
with my
married,
cell phone. I
She
usually
had the
just
love
keep it
theme
home.
from Final Fantasy VIII playing when she walked out. Or not the love theme, but the theme song from Final Fantasy VIII.
Nice.
How about yourself, good sir? Anything cool and interesting happened this week?
I spent many hours on Monday moving a network closet from one end of a building to another. I worked for 15 hours straight that day. That was interesting.
It's
and
a
not
long
fun.
time.
And then the next day we had to move everything over, because we have a bunch of racks.
It's like an hour more than 14 hours.
That's like
Yeah.
almost 2 days.
Oh.
Yeah, we had to move because we have like 3 racks in this new network office, and the guy who was supposed to wire the whole building, so rewiring the whole building, hadn't actually wired anything into the main, like his side of the cabinet, so we had to move everything over one. It was a whole thing. Anyway, so basically the next day I had to go back and move everything that I had just moved again. It was interesting.
Yeah.
That's about it.
I worked an awful lot, and I also played a lot of video games, but we'll get to that momentarily.
Did you get beat up by anything this week?
You get beat up by something? Was it
Yeah,
a
last week I had a little encounter with a cement barrier, And 2 weeks before that, I
Cement
had...
barrier, like you walked into it or you ran into it.
Thanks for listening to the show.
You got into a fight with
Thanks
it.
for supporting the cast, Mark.
I listened to the first half hour last week.
Then you should have heard the cement barrier story.
Okay, it was then the week before that then. Yeah, so yeah, I didn't get last week's.
Fucking A.
Drunk somewhere. In a ditch. Actually, that day I was driving 9 hours home almost. So it took about 2 hours longer than it should have. Awful.
Fun.
Went home, slept.
Well, I suppose we kick off the show with our weekly roundtable and catch everybody up on what we've been playing since the last time we all spoke.
Okay. I did Ratchet and Clank 2, and I probably only put, I don't know, an hour into that. I plowed through The Last of Us. I'm at the dam. I was about, I don't know, maybe halfway through Pittsburgh.
Now, when you say the dam, you're talking about when you first
his-
walk in and there's that bridge that one just turns over and you have to find your way to the other side
Yes,
to
yeah,
make
after
that walkway?
I'm about to leave there.
Okay,
Yeah.
okay.
So I just met his
You're
brother.
doing all right. You're doing all right. I was there a few days ago, but as soon as I got halfway through that game, because it took me so long to do half the game,
Pittsburgh's long.
and then
Yeah.
I hit a little bit before that dam. I just got so engrossed in that game, and I just went on a tear and knocked the rest out in the next 2 or 3 days.
I
so.
figured I probably have about 1 to 2 play sessions left. So
You got a bit to go.
Yeah, you got
Yeah.
like 6 hours around. Yeah,
we can do
It
it.
depends.
That's what I figured
What would
like
you
to.
clock in at?
it was around 20 hours.
Yeah, I was a little
Yeah.
under 21.
I think it was already
And
at 10.
was-
Almost 11, I think, right
You might
now.
be doing a little faster than us then.
That's weird because I'm
Are
playing
you
hard.
looking for stuff?
Nope. Playing
That's
hard,
fine.
though.
Yeah,
I
I spent a lot of time going through everything and looking
I went
in
on
all the
looking
nooks
things.
and crannies.
Yeah, and I still missed a bunch of stuff.
Oh,
Yeah.
I have like how many collectibles are there? 100 and something? I think I have
100
like
something, yeah.
I think I have like 81. And I looked
Yeah.
everywhere. And I
Yeah.
missed like 30 or 40 collectibles.
I
It's
noticed
the Firefly pendants that really did me in. Those are hard to find.
Yeah, I only found like 4 of those in the whole game.
Those are really. Other than that, I feel really bad because I've only found like 4, maybe 5 skill books. It's a training manuals. Skill
There aren't
books.
that many.
Yeah,
I missed a couple of them, but there aren't that many.
those are the only ones I really find
any.
any use out of, and
Yeah.
I'm very disappointed.
Well,
with
I mean, the
stuff.
more you look around, the more
I mean, I look
materials
around.
you're going to find, so you can craft more.
But in certain areas where I just want to get the hell out of there, I don't. Like, especially when there's a ton of enemies around and stuff like that.
Well, there's this one part, I don't want to spoil anything till the spoiler cast, but so in my opinion, one of the hardest scenes in the game, and it's within the first 3 hours or so. And there was something to do, which I'll reference this again later in the game, or talk to you and your past it about it later. It's easy to get out of that area, but there's a very big bonus if you go the other way. And I tried the other way about 10 times to try to get the bonus. And I even got to the
Which
bonus.
level are you talking about, at least?
The
Oh,
base where I was calling you about.
Oh yeah, where I got through the first time somehow.
It's
and
really easy.
It's really easy, and everyone's like, I couldn't get through
You
it.
missed the safe. The safe had a ton of shit in it.
You know the thing I
are
don't
you
like.
talking about by the alley? Or are you talking about something else?
But something else. I'll just tell you guys later about
I
it.
am a little bit disappointed about that game because of the safes. You never know when you have the combination. Like literally,
It's found
You
in the
have,
same
you
area.
have
as
to hit the
safe.
safe first.
Oh, really?
yeah, no, I would touch the safe and it'd be like
You
"I
have
need
to
a
find
combination."
the safe to let you know to look for the key code.
Really? So
Well,
you won't
see-
find the key code if you don't find the safe.
I don't
Well,
think
see,
so.
the key code in one of them, you have to throw Ellie into an attic, and
Yeah, I did
that's
that.
how you get it. And I
Yeah,
was
I
like,
did that.
how would I have known that?
I only found 4
Well,
safes and I got 3 of them.
I've only got one.
I got all the safes I found, I think.
How many were did you find?
Well,
We should probably save this for the last of a spoiler cast,
Probably.
shouldn't
okay.
we? Yeah.
Sure. So, yeah.
We're getting a little too nuts here.
I'm working on a review for my site. It should be up in the next couple of days. I'm like 1,000 words. I gotta just finish some stuff up. But I have many things to say about it.
Cheap plug.
Oh,
Cheap plug.
yeah. Oh, yeah. Impoverishedgeek.com. Spelled like it sounds, all one word.
Yep. Yep.
Oh yeah, there's 2 other things I played. I beat Uncharted 2, and I don't know.
What?
Beat Uncharted 2.
Oh, I thought you said Vita Uncharted 2. I'm like, what?
I was like,
You never
what?
know.
What?
Oh, I'm in the beta,
You never know.
How did this slip under me?
Well,
I must be slipping in my old age.
Well, my number 1 news story slipped by you for a few hours.
Yeah.
We'll get to that soon. And then I started Uncharted 3, and I played Company Heroes 2 when I got back this week.
All right. Fucking A.
See you, Rich.
No.
Who's next?
No.
I can go if Jason doesn't have anything.
No, I've got something, but mine's going to take some time. So go
I haven't
go
played
ahead.
too much. Did little Castle Crashers, just building up my Crasher.
What are you on? With
What
The
do you mean on-
Xboxes or the PSNs?
I was on Xbox. Now I'm playing it on my
Or
computer.
the Steams.
It's on Steam. I play it on Steam now because I can play that anywhere.
on video.
But I beat it on Xbox 360 back in the day, and I love that game. It's a lot of fun. I played a little bit of The Walking Dead by Telltale finally for about half an hour, and I like it. It's too heavy after The Last of Us. I need a break from
Episode
heavy
1's
stuff.
not even heavy yet.
I know.
Yeah.
I
Wait
know.
till you get the actual heavy
Well,
stuff.
I just listened to that answer machine. I'm like, I can't play this at work. This is gonna be too depressing. And then I played about an hour of Super Metroid today while a friend was over watching one of those awful reality shows about being pregnant and dating. And I was like, Wii U, Super Metroid, watch what you want. That's about it for me.
Do you want to go or should I go?
Go ahead,
I know
sir.
you usually go last.
Go
but
ahead, sir. It's
consider.
all you.
I finished Uncharted 3.
Yay!
Thank you.
Congratulations.
Thank you. Dun, 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 dun.
What does Indiana Jones have to do with Uncharted?
A lot.
did you hear how I guess they're trying to get Seth Rogen and his buddy to make an Uncharted movie, and they're like, so you want us to make Indiana Jones?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, Tony, do you have any? I know we don't have the challenge set up yet. We're going to wait on that. But do you have any questions or anything that you'd like to ask me about Uncharted 3?
After you're done letting me know what you thought and giving us your grade, and then if Mark chooses or Brian, because they both are yet to beat Uncharted 3, if they wanted to step out for a minute or two, they can
Okay.
do that as well.
I do need a Coke.
Uncharted 2 was a better gameplay experience than
I
Uncharted
agree.
3. I won't touch on it until you bring it up a little bit later. But there was a major plot hole that I found in Uncharted 3's story
Really?
between 1 and 3 that kind of made me a little angry. It was a little cutscene heavy for me. I mean, I enjoyed the cutscenes, but literally it was like everybody who's played Uncharted, it has like the giant boulder.
Set pieces.
So yeah, you know, where like Indiana Jones, the giant boulders running. Well, you're running from shit that's falling and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
You'd run for like 50 yards, and then a cutscene of them jumping, and then you're running again. It was a little much. Wasn't Resident Evil proportions, but it was a little much comparative from 2. Overall, well, go ahead.
I was saying, have you played Tomb Raider?
Not yet.
Because Tomb Raider has some of those too.
I would give it a solid. Again, I'm not really big on the ranking, but 8.5, right in the middle between 1 and 2.
Like I told you, you're going to
Yeah.
enjoy it a lot, but
Yeah.
it's not as good as 2.
No.
2 is my favorite in the
Yeah.
series as well. Man.
They also, without spoiling too much, they did kind of take a little bit of a step back from what really made Uncharted 1 and 2 special, and that was that almost Tomb Raider-esque exploration. It was a little urban intense in this one for me. Okay,
Okay.
so now you've got questions. So are you guys sticking around, or are you guys...
I'll step out if you guys want to do it now. Yeah.
Me.
All right, we'll give them a
Get
few seconds. If you want to...
GTFO. Bear with us just a moment. They're packing up to...
Yeah, they're going to leave because they're going to try to avoid spoilers. In the event, what should we do? Hey, we'll cut it off in 3 or 4 minutes, hopefully.
I'll just call to them. That doesn't matter.
Okay, so tune back in 3 minutes, 4
Yeah.
minutes?
If you don't want spoilers for Uncharted 3, pause here and come back in about 5 minutes.
Okay. First things first, we'll try to go in chronological order. I might miss this because I haven't played it in a year and a half. Let's start with the flashback to the childhood.
Okay.
What'd you think of that?
It was cool. It was interesting enough. It was a nice change of pace.
For those who don't care about spoilers and decided to stick with us, there's a part very early on in the game where you actually get to play as young Nathan Drake.
Which makes
you-
all those young Indiana Jones references kind of funny.
Yeah, and it actually kind of shows the first encounter between you as Nathan Drake alongside Sully. So it kind of shows how they met and how everything came to be. And I just wanted to hear your thoughts on it, and then
It was
I wanted to
pretty-
chime in on it
It
as
was
well.
pretty cool. Nice change of pace. I actually spent a little bit of time in the museum actually looking at everything.
As did I.
Yeah, wandering around a little bit. It was cool. It was nice to see how they met up and everything.
Okay. I'm going to back up to the first part of the game because I just thought of this as well. the opening of the game, when you're kind of in that alley, and one of the coolest
And
things...
Jason Statham?
Yeah, one of the coolest things I think that game... Naughty Dog in general is one of the best developers at doing this. They're really, really good at teaching you... You know how a lot of games take that stupid 5 minutes to show you...
Tutorial. Yeah.
But they made it such a cool part of the game. And their cutscenes and the gameplay flow into each other perfectly. There's no black screen with a loading. It seamlessly goes from a cutscene to you playing, and they're teaching you about the game without you feeling like they're teaching you, because it's such an integral part of the story and the adventure. And I wanted to see what you thought of that, because I thought that was one of the highlights of Uncharted
I agree.
3.
One of the big issues that I had, I want to say with Uncharted 1, is it would actually pause the action to like teach you how to throw a grenade and stuff like that, as opposed to just the quick little flash on the screen.
Yeah.
So definitely flowed a
Grenade play got a lot better as the trilogy went on as
Yeah.
well. Okay, then there was the plane, the cargo plane, which I feel was comparable to Uncharted 2's train scene.
The train was a little bit more impactful
It was.
for me because it went on a little bit longer.
The train was fucking awesome.
The train scene also,
But-
the plane scene, and I remember watching the trailer for Uncharted 3, and that was kind of like a big thing, the wrecked plane and, you know, whatever. I was surprised with how short that actual little, I mean, it was cool, but it was really short. I was expecting it to be a bigger chunk.
I fucking loved that. That whole, you're hanging on a cargo net by your bare hands, enemies are coming at you, you're trying to call up, there's equipment flying out of the back of the plane that you have to fucking avoid. I thought that was awesome.
It was really well done. Little short for me.
Yeah.
I was expecting, I guess, a bigger payoff for that part, as opposed to it just being more of a segue.
Shortly after that, of course, the plane kind of goes down, and you're left in what many felt was one of the most emotionally riveting parts of the Uncharted trilogy. I disagree, but it touched a lot of people. There was that moment where you're just walking in the sand, which was super desolate. I was wondering what you thought of that.
It was. I mean, for the sake of the story, it was good. You know, I don't feel that it dragged on too long or anything.
See, that was a lot of people's complaint. It was just like, we get it, and it kept going.
I don't think it drug on too long. I've had similar experiences. I know Fable 3 was a really crappy game, but it has a very similar one when you meet the end, the darkness in Fable 3. And I guess, and I know this is one of your questions, but had I played Uncharted 3 before I played Walking Dead, a scene like that might have been more impactful than it actually was to me.
Yeah, I gotcha. Two more. And then we'll call them back in because I don't want to go too far into it.
That's fine.
What happened when you thought Sully died?
I didn't buy it, to be honest, just because that's the kind of the theme of Uncharted.
Everything's gonna end up happy.
They throw those, but they throw the hooks at you.
Yeah.
You know, just like in the beginning when they get shot, you knew they weren't. You know, that wasn't it. You know, it was interesting. It did actually, that next wave of enemies, it was more impactful because I was just like running and gunning at them. As to where my whole experience with the gameplay has been more of the cover system, a la Gears. This one I was just running through, punching people in the face, throwing them off of stuff. So it did add a little bit of a rage to it, you know. And then his comments while it's happening too, like he's angry, and that transitioned pretty well.
Yeah, I thought it was super cool. For a little, I thought Sully had died. If Naughty Dog was going to do it, that was their chance.
Yeah.
I still don't know if that's the end of Uncharted from Naughty Dog or not.
See, that's what you were saying. Is you said, you know, it ended well, and I mean, yeah, it ended well. Everybody's happy.
It kind of wrapped everything up. It kind of left a couple questions. You
Yeah.
really don't know what happened with Elena and Drake.
That, then there's also, I mean, the whole point of the chick's name. I can't think of her
Chloe?
name. No, the bad chick.
Marlene?
Marlene. When she says that's not your real name, you know, there's that whole backstory of like, all right, well, who is he really?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
And everything. And here's the major.
Then it throws you for a loop.
Yeah.
It's like, well, is he really related to
when
Drake the
when all he
Explorer?
was actually in was Drake's Home for Boys and whatnot. The big thing that pissed me off, and since they're not here, so super spoiler, guys. In 1, okay, when he finds the supposed body of Francis Drake,
Yeah.
he leaves the ring. He takes it off. And remember, Elena picks it back up and gives it to him at the end.
Yeah.
But yet, that ring was so integral. It was 20 years that he's been trying to put this together. Why would he have left it there then? See what I mean?
I guess I'm not understanding.
Okay. In Uncharted 1.
Yeah, he leaves the ring, but Elena picks it back up.
But in
He carries it around from childhood.
Exactly. In Uncharted 3, they make that like his symbol. And that's his life goal, is to find the purpose of the ring and decipher the code. But then in Uncharted 1, he left it. So did he forget about it?
I don't know. He might have thought it was over then when he saw Francis. I'm not sure.
Yeah, but I mean, even if he found the body, he knew that there was still, when you look at the entire story, there were still unanswered questions. So
Yeah.
he still needed that ring. That's the big plot hole that I saw. And I mean, I get it. They made Uncharted 1. They didn't know where it was going to go. They needed to make a story for Uncharted 3.
Yeah.
I get that there's a plot. But I mean, that was, when I saw that, I was like, well, wait a minute. He left the fucking ring in 1. He didn't care about it then. Why does he care about it so much now? You know?
Yeah, that's a good point.
Yeah, I mean, the whole story of Uncharted 3 is about his fucking ring that he was so easily to leave in Uncharted 1.
All right, and the last thing I had is your opinion on the supernatural aspect, because every single game had its form that comes in around the 80% mark. Uncharted's follow very
beginning of the
similar
third act, yeah.
structure, yeah. And
This one was lame.
yeah,
'cause-
the sun people, they
Yeah.
were weird.
Yeah, it was, because they're, spoilers, they're a hallucination. They're not real,
Yeah,
you know, so it was kind of lame.
I enjoyed them because they were definitely one of the harder ones to kill.
Yeah, two fucking, and when they start throwing fireballs,
They're
I
hard.
got pissed.
They're
I was
hard.
like, fuck you guys, man. But I mean, and they also, they didn't, in previous Uncharted 1 and 2, the supernatural element pretty much carries through the end. These guys, they pop up for 10, 20 minutes, and then you're,
Yeah, but you're approaching the very, very end of the game when that happens.
yeah, it didn't have the same impact that it has had in the previous ones. So,
All right,
yeah.
let's call these fucks back in. We'll
All right.
save the rest for the spoiler cast.
Yo! All clear! We're gonna give them a minute to come back into the room.
I forgot my Coke.
I love the cast of characters that even they brought around. Not even the immediate group of Sully, Elena, and Drake, and not even the secondary characters where you throw in Chloe and stuff
I
like
really
that.
liked Cutter.
Yeah, I even like the
Cutter's
like
cool.
the third and fourth ring of people that are brought in that like the bad guys.
The
like,
one thing, and this isn't
Navarro
spoiling
and-
into anything for anybody that's here, but I kept making the joke of, oh well, they can do a prequel, Young Indiana Jones, blah blah blah, and you're like, ha ha ha, just wait. They still, I mean, you have literally like a 20-year gap there that you can go back and tell so many more stories,
Oh, yeah.
which would be interesting to see Sully kind of teach him the craft.
I would love to see what happened to Nathan and Chloe, because they did a really cool job in Uncharted 2 during that cutscene for that 3 or 4 minutes, kind of hinting at stuff and whatnot. And I would love to see them go back.
Oh, they totally fucked. I mean, that's
Well, obviously,
yeah.
No, they didn't.
No, he totally put it in there.
Nate Drake smashing
Even-
fucking snatch left and right, good sir. All right,
So he's just creeping from the window.
smoking a cigar.
I mean, he does live vicariously through Nate, so.
All right.
Are we on to me?
Yeah, you're
Yeah.
into you.
So you enjoyed it, right? Are you happy that you finally played the trilogy?
Yeah, I mean, you know, I'm glad I experienced it.
They were worth playing.
My big comparison for the Uncharted trilogy is Gears of War, because that was my trilogy on the Xbox, and it's on par with it.
Yeah.
Almost step for step in how I felt about Gears 1. The Gears trilogy comparative to the Uncharted. I really enjoyed 2, even though the story,
I liked 2 the best from both series as well.
The story for the third was bigger, on a bigger scale, I guess.
They had to wrap stuff up.
But I did like the big wrap up for Gears 3 better than Uncharted, personally.
Well, Uncharted, I think, left it where they could do something, but they don't have to.
Yeah.
And Gears was clearly, unless they do a prequel,
Yeah.
like a real one with Marcus and Dom.
They could do
It,
E-Day,
to me,
they could do
Marcus
Pendulum Wars.
Marcus is done.
Yeah.
Whether or not they continue with Gears or whatever, I think they had to wrap Marcus up. So
Yeah.
They have Fortnite coming out this fall.
No.
They do.
Nobody cares anymore because Cliffy B's not there. That was his baby for a while, and then...
Yeah, he's probably mad about that.
Yeah.
As for myself, I got a little bit further in Uncharted Golden Abyss on Crushing. I'm trying to polish that off. I got like 6 trophies, 7 if you include the platinum, but that pops as soon as you get the 6th one. So
No.
Yeah.
I'm trying to 100% that so I can be done with it. I beat Last of Us like a little. I think I beat it after we recorded last week's show.
Yeah, because you were supposed... I was like, Gears? And you're like, yeah, let me see how I feel in like 20 minutes after I order this pizza. And then
Yeah, fucking Last of Us.
fucking mentioned it.
I saw that.
Yeah. And then, so I'm done with Last of Us, and I'm going to wait for Mark to wrap it up. Brian finished it as
Probably
well.
this week.
And then I got to bring it over for Jason to play, and then we can get on that. I was supposed to bring it today so you could get a head start on it. I failed to do so. My mistake. So the Last of Us spoiler cast will be delayed a bit now.
You well, there is an option. If you want, you might be able to bring... If you're legit done with it for now, bring it with you tomorrow. And I'll
You'll
just
pop
swing
by.
by. Okay.
And because I beat that, I decided to start knocking out some of this backlog. I took a huge chunk out of what... Oh, I took a huge chunk out of Bioshock Infinite. I'm going to try to finish that up this week. I want to finish Gears of War Judgment with Jason this week as well. And hopefully next week tackle God of War Ascension. So at least all the big-ass titles. And then I'll start going back. I still got to finish Arkham City. And I still got to finish Skyward Sword.
Yeah,
And I still got to finish
a lot of games.
Skyrim
Since-
and Red Dead.
Since
before
I went through Uncharted, you got to finish up Arkham. You got to finish Arkham.
I will. So I'm going to try to get... That's all I'm doing for like the next few months is I'm finishing these games that I'm halfway or 3/4 of the way through.
Because you have
I'm
6 or 7 coming out later this year.
I'm just
anyway.
going to polish everything off for the next few months. That's all I'm doing. I'm not buying anything. I'm not... until Ratchet and Clank comes out. Then you'll...
Oh,
Before we jump
No
in,
GTA?
are you set?
Yeah, no, that's it.
Okay,
I didn't
before
do
we
much.
jump into news.
Did no one do Walking Dead, by the way?
Oh,
Or was
we
it all
did that last week.
Okay,
I
cool.
beat
I
it
would say, I
the
beat it this
day
week
it
too,
came
so-
out.
Yeah.
Okay.
The whole 8 minutes. It was fucking glorious.
It was glorious.
Oh, yeah. Really quick, before we jump into the news, Steam's got a big sale going on. I'm sure that's probably one of the news stories. Anybody pick anything up?
Oh, I picked up a ton of stuff. I've wasted so much money.
You want to go over a couple of what you grabbed?
I can go over what I grabbed. Yeah, let me pull it up real quick. I know I just picked up Fallout for PC because I had it on Xbox before.
It's like the 4th time you've bought Fallout?
Well, Fallout 3 and Fallout New Vegas, both the second time I bought both of them.
So that's 4, yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, I guess so.
Isn't it fun to do that?
Well, they're $5 a piece for the full Game of the Year edition.
Yeah.
Why wouldn't you? I also picked up The Witcher finally. Both of those, they're like $5 a piece.
$5, right? Isn't it the
Yeah.
complete edition too?
Yeah. Well, it's an enhanced edition for the first one. I don't know about The Witcher 2. What else did I pick up? I picked up just other stuff. But I'm not seeing it in my list of stuff I've purchased. So, whatever. Yeah.
Mark, you weren't here for the past 2 weeks, technically.
Yeah.
Did you grab anything off the PlayStation Network sale, the Xbox Live sale, or Steam?
I actually have not yet. Surprisingly, I've had.
Well, PlayStation and Xbox are
You
done, so
missed
you're screwed.
PlayStation and Xbox.
No, I
Good
actually got
sales.
both those. I actually got back in time to get the week
Well,
one
Xbox
sale.
had 1-day sales.
That doesn't
Yeah.
even matter to me now. I don't have an Xbox.
Shut your whore face,
Yeah,
Mark.
but PlayStation, I
I'm
got
right there. I
back
sold
in
mine already,
the.
too.
I got back for the last day of the week 1 sales for PlayStation, and then I almost was thinking about doing the Ratchet and Clank, and then getting rid of my other one. I didn't do it.
It was sick cheap. Everybody should have bought that.
Yeah, no, I already.
$7.
Yeah,
That's just because
I already
I
own
didn't
it, so
have
it's just like, man.
You'd love it if you did.
Yeah.
Wait, which one? I missed that.
The Ratchet and
Ratchet
Clank.
Oh yeah, I got
collection.
that.
It was 1,
I
2,
got
and
that.
3 in HD for $7 fucking.
Yeah, I got that.
Yeah, and then the only other thing I was possibly going to get was Alice, and I skipped out on that one just because I'm like, I got so much stuff to do already.
You're missing out.
For $5, you get both Alice games in that. If you buy,
Oh, yeah, I knew that.
Is that still up?
I don't even know. It might be.
Dude, if it is,
It is
just
still
buy
Tuesday.
it
I know.
now.
I
Was it like
really liked it.
$3?
it's like 4 or
I
5
liked it, and
bucks,
I
yeah.
I almost beat it. I was like 60% done with it.
I'm just saying, just pick it up.
I'm
again.
at, that's another game I go finish in my backlog. I'm like 60, 70% done with
Yeah.
that too. There's so much shit. I gotta go and finish this crap. When the next gen comes, how often am I really gonna go back and you'll
For a
want to
few
go you'll want
months.
to go back and play the gems, but just to clean up games you never finished,
You'll
they'll
have a
just
few
remain
months.
unfinished.
For you especially, because you're gonna get the few games coming out right away, And there's going to be a lull at one point, and I think that's when I'm going to go back and do a lot of my stuff. Because I'm only picking up one game launch day, so.
I don't want to count on that because I have a feeling that some stuff's going to have to get disconnected. I think my original Wii is next on the chopping block. And then it doesn't necessarily have to be because that's through AV cables. But I only have 2 more HDMI slots available on my TV.
Get some splitters.
Yeah, but it's such a clusterfucker on my TV. I don't know.
I
Maybe
wound
get
up
a second
buying
TV.
an Onkyo just because it had more HDMI ports than anything else. 8 ports. Thing is terrible. I would not recommend it. It's so glitchy. When I had my old TV and the PS3, it would glitch every time I turned the PS3 and I had to restart it, the receiver. And when I got my new TV, that stopped happening. It's really weird. That's some really weird glitchiness going on with that thing.
I didn't really pick up anything off the Steam. I already went over what I picked up off of Xbox the week before. I did pre-order a couple more games this week. Anybody pre-order anything new this week?
I pre-ordered Ratchet & Clank.
I will be on Monday.
Okay.
I'm going to be pre-ordering Ratchet.
I also did Kingdom Hearts too.
I pre-ordered a copy of Battlefield 4 for 360, even though I have the Xbox One one. That is for my girlfriend's dad. I re-pre-ordered WWE 14 because it's only going to be on 360 and current gen. So I was trying to hold out and wait. I got that. And then I made the mistake of stopping into GameStop with my girlfriend, and she saw Disney Infinity. And we play the Lego games and we
It's
enjoy them.
over.
Yeah. We enjoy
Disney
the
Infinity is neat looking.
we enjoy
Not
we
for me,
enjoy
though.
we enjoy the
No, I'm saying
Lego
money-wise. Over.
co-op
Well,
games.
lot of money.
Yeah, it's Skylanders. It's
Well,
yeah.
We got Disney Infinity Bundle, which comes with Jack Sparrow, and that's who she wanted. And then it's got Sully from Monsters Inc. I pre-ordered Sully for her. I told her anything else beyond that, she's buying. I'm not paying for it. So yeah.
Got to get Jack Skellington.
I don't know if he's a standalone or if he's a set. If he's a set, I'll probably pick the set up for him. But I plan on playing that, and they actually they all but confirmed Marvel and Star Wars characters. Are
Oh,
coming to
good
that.
God, that's terrible.
Yeah,
Yeah, it's going to sell him a lot of shit.
yeah. It's just now I'll play it. You know, it looks cool though. It does. All right. So the past 2 weeks it's been competent news.
Competent
I
news?
think it's time to bring it back to
Bring the
some
sexy
dirty,
Sexy news!
Sexy
News! We're going to start this off with the best news of the week. You get Ratchet & Clank Into the Nexus, confirmed, $29.99 this fall.
Yes!
Why don't they do the innuendos for the names anymore?
That's what people were complaining about. They could have called this, like, I don't know, something like that. Because they used to always have those.
Yeah.
Ratchet and Clank up your butt.
Yeah, up your arsenal.
Up your
no,
arsenal.
Yeah,
What are
up
they?
your arsenal.
Full frontal assault.
Going Commando.
Going Commando. Yeah, they always have those things. It's awesome.
That's why I've always kind of liked it. It's like, haha.
I know in the video for like the release that IGN posted, they actually did go into the names of. They had one that was a sexual innuendo.
Yeah.
And I don't know why they didn't go with it.
Yeah, I don't really care. I'm just excited they're going back to what Ratchet and Clank is after
2-3
I don't
years.
know. I don't want to call them.
3 years.
I don't want to call them missteps, but not Ratchet and Clank true games.
It's only $30
in All for One and
Full game too.
for
what was the other
PS3.
one called?
Yep.
It's
All
not
for
bad.
one and
The $20.
Full frontal.
Yeah, full frontal.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So they're finally going back to Ratchet and Clank, what it's supposed to be. The price point's excellent. I wish there was a $60 version for PS4. I would have happily paid double for the PS4 version. But I don't care. More Ratchet and Clank's more Ratchet and Clank. This is supposed to tie up the future trilogy. I'm glad that they're smart that at their price point, knowing that it's the end of the life cycle, knowing that people have lost a little faith in the Ratchet and Clank series because of All for One and Full Frontal, and knowing that this will bring them back and make them relevant again. It also shuts everybody up from bitching about Insomniac leaving to make an Xbox exclusive. It's like, well, here's your fucking PlayStation exclusive too.
There you
So,
go.
I'm so happy.
Me too.
This looks great.
Also going along with this week, you had Microsoft reorganizing all of its divisions, and they also named a new Xbox head. This is supposed to allow them to work at greater speed and be more efficient. Also, if you're interested, the new head of Xbox division is Julie Larson-Green. What do you think about the reorganization?
Microsoft could probably use it. Go ahead, sorry.
No, I don't think it fucking matters.
You don't think it matters?
People make a big deal about, like, like even with like Epic or Microsoft, any of these companies, when Microsoft with fuckface leaving, Hair, what's his name, Don Matrick.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, all this shit. It's like people kind of make a big deal. Oh, they're fucking doomed. Oh, blah 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 blah. They're one person. Even with Epic, with Cliffy B, I understand he invented the Gears of War idea,
And then wanted to kill it off with the first one.
but it's like 500 people worked on this game. They didn't all overnight forget how to program and design and light and all this stuff again. With Microsoft, it's just one person. It's just this one chick's in charge now. It's not like the whole company forgot how to market or forgot how to make software or forgot how to produce a console. Nothing's changing. These are huge machines.
Yeah.
These aren't a little mom and pop shop where if the owner goes under, it's like, well, now there's a big chance the company's going to flop. This is one person. These are big, huge, internationally.
She's been with the company for a long time.
Internationally
she was
public.
She was like Windows before or something like that. Yeah, or mobile or something.
Big publicly
It was
traded
Windows 7.
companies. It's not going to affect anything. If this wasn't a news story, people wouldn't even notice the transition.
No, I don't think. I think if they would have heard that he was leaving, and they would probably
Like,
never.
look what happened with Halo. Like all those people, that, like 343 didn't like throw their hands up in the air when Bungie decided to call it quits on the Halo universe and be like, well, Bungie's gone. Let's just fucking call it Galo and just have a bunch of penises
Somebody's phone's vibrating.
and stuff going around in the background and not make a competent shooter. No, they came out with an excellent fucking game. Just give people a chance.
Also, there was a new petition started to bring back the Xbox One policies that were already reversed. They claimed it was the future of entertainment.
Yeah, that was actually one of our questions from Lysios. He wanted to know, I guess we could tie it into one. He wanted to know what our thoughts and opinions on were it.
Well, from the petition, they also were saying that they wanted it to be like a Steam-like digital distributor, and you could buy, sell, and trade in games and stuff like that, is what they cited
That's
in
what
the
they
petition.
wanted. That's not what Microsoft had
That's
announced.
not what they- yeah, that's not what they
initially.
announced.
That's the thing. Everyone is kind of forecasting what would have happened if Microsoft had done that. Look, they've had digital games for a while on the Xbox 360. And so has Sony on the PS3.
Mhm.
And they have not done a good enough job of dropping the prices on those yet for people to say that they would have
Exactly.
Steam-style sales. Uncharted 1 is still $30 on the PSN
And you
store.
can buy the 1 and 2 pack for $15 at GameStop.
At GameStop, yeah.
Brand
Look,
new.
if Uncharted,
With all the DLC in Uncharted 2.
yeah, if Uncharted 1 had been at $10 on the PSN store, I would have just bought it outright from there rather than picking up used at GameStop
For $8.
for $8.
Yeah.
I would have done that. $10 for an older game, I'll pay that. So if every game was $10, I wouldn't care about DRM. It's $10.
They made a big deal on the Xbox Marketplace a few weeks back because, like, NHL 2K9 or something had a price drop to, like, $19.99.
Yeah,
It's like, dude, this is 99 cents at any store.
Yeah.
yeah, yeah.
And they're like, it's available digitally, only
Yeah.
$19.99 for a
Yeah.
4-year-old hockey game. I don't know.
Yeah, no,
They're way off.
They are. Could it be the future? Yes, but the pricing model needs to change, and they weren't showing that off when they announced this big change.
No.
They hadn't shown any possible benefits to their stuff besides the whole let your friends, quote unquote, borrow it if they're in your family group or whatever. That's the only real bonus that they had to this new DRM scheme. So
I don't know. I think there was potential for a lot of greatness to come from this. I was never super against it. I just felt bad for everybody out there that was against it.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't want people out there to not be able to experience whatever Microsoft pumps out over the next 8 or 9 years for the Xbox One. I don't want people to miss out on it because they were so pissed off at the DRM.
Well-
So I am happy that they changed their initial view, but I think a lot of this always connected stuff could have been really cool. And I think that's what the petition is showcasing. It's showing Microsoft that not everybody was against this from day one. I don't really care either way. I want to take that right now and make it very clear to everybody. I'm not pro the petition. I'm not. I don't care.
Throw the
Whatever
petition in their
they
face.
did, I just wanted more powerful hardware. I don't care what strings come attached to it because I want more powerful hardware. That's what I want.
I agree. I'm on the
I'm
same
always
stance.
connected anyway. I don't care. I get all the arguments from all the different sides. I feel for everybody. I want as many people to be happy, and I want as many people to come over to the next generation as possible, so we have the most amount of people to talk to and play with. I want that. I want this user base to switch over. That's excellent. I just think right now Microsoft's done a poor job at showcasing what all this always online stuff could have brought to the table.
I believe
And
that's
it's
actually what
scared-
they said in the response to
It's
it.
scared everybody away. If they were a little clearer on it during E3, like, hey, we're going to be always on, but look at all this awesome stuff that we're going to be able to make available to you because of it. I think it would have cleaned it up instead of just being like, well, it's always online, because then everybody just automatically assumed it was strictly DRM.
Yeah.
Well, and I think they've done a really poor job of going either way. You know, they could have kept some of this DRM stuff for the digital games and let you do the sharing still, because those digital games will have the same amount of lockdown as they would have before. It just won't have the check-in.
Well, all this stuff's not axed.
It's not. It's just not going to be enabled at launch.
It's all able to be put back in a
Yeah.
firmware update.
I think that if they had done a better job, they could have said, like, look, if you buy the disc, you get to sell the disc. But if you buy it digitally, you can share it with your friends.
because you can't sell
Because
it
you
anyway.
can't sell it anyway. I think they could have done a better job of kind of separating those two and kind of saying, look, digital is the future, but for those of you who still want to buy discs and trade with your friends or let people borrow and trade in, you can do that for now.
Well, now that Justin Bieber's not the face of Xbox anymore, who knows? You know, they could in a year or two from now they could roll it out, a revamped version of what you were talking about.
Yeah, I think the Steam model isn't a bad thing necessarily, as long as you get those sales and there's some kind of flexibility in it. If they could do a resale market, they could take this thing by storm. But they haven't announced any of that stuff yet. That's the problem. So, yeah, I think that there's room to grow in this.
Either way,
Yeah.
there's far better online petitions to sign up for.
Oh, yeah.
Than this crap.
Look,
We all know online petitions work all the time too. So,
You okay, Jason?
what happened with your game? Is it on right now? Can you play it?
Actually, yeah.
Lies.
I was just talking to Brian about it earlier.
You guys find a sneaky workaround. You're not supposed to play it the right.
Sneaky,
Wait a minute,
sneaky.
Mr. Pirate Bay.
Hey, I'm not saying it. I'm not saying there's anything wrong with it. I'm just saying.
Anyways, next.
Yeah, read that. All right, next story. It was a lawsuit. He stabbed my paper.
Getting a little stab happy there, buddy.
It's not gonna fly as well when I David Letterman this shit.
Is it because the camera's on there? He wants to look tough.
No,
Probably.
I reached in I was like, what's in my pocket? It's my knife.
Okay, going on. It was a lawsuit-heavy week with Sega trying to claim $941,000 in pre-order money from THQ through Valve's online store. $59.99 of which was mine.
Isn't it just literally beating a dead horse?
Yeah,
You know,
but technically, it is their money though.
yeah, but if
They probably will never get that.
if THQ
million,
filed for bankruptcy and sold off all their assets to break even, then there is no profit to be gained. Okay, that's if I stabbed you right now and you sued me, you wouldn't get anything because I don't have anything to give you. I owe debt already.
Oh, they could garnish your wages,
Yeah,
but that would be
but-
pretty harsh. And
Yeah,
rough.
but I'm just
Yeah.
in general for a company, there's no income
Yeah.
at this point anymore.
I want
They don't
$25
exist.
out of his salary for the rest of his life.
Yeah,
What a
so
dumbass.
I want 25% of your salary, which is zero. You know.
Yeah, no, it's
Next.
Oh, I didn't even see Bolig's tweet about
Yeah,
that.
he
either.
got pissed too.
Yeah. All right. Anyway, more lawsuits. Nintendo won $1 million in damages from the illegal flashcard sales. Yay!
Yeah, but they lost 50 million.
Yeah, I know.
constantly for
That
all
one
the
is
people with
just like,
R4
yeah, they won,
cards.
but yeah, they got a fraction of what they
You
would have
know,
got.
this didn't come up last week when we had Moss on there on the show, but it does need to be addressed. Nintendo's got this problem of trying, and it's more so than what Microsoft has done, is they're really trying to piss off their community. Okay.
I am so on the side of this.
All
I've
right.
been listening to this for a while
The
now.
issue with where they blocked it, monetization for YouTube, people threw a fit. They said, okay, now we're not doing it.
Oh, they
Yeah.
pulled
Yeah,
back
they-
on that?
Just
They
recently,
went away.
this past weekend,
the Evo.
Evo wanted to do Smash Brothers. Nintendo said no. Everybody threw a fit. They said, okay, go ahead.
Here's what Nintendo's doing. I'm saying I agree with it, but there's a pattern of what they're doing. Because Nintendo, if you don't make any money off of what you do with Nintendo stuff, they don't care. But as soon as you try to monetize anything with a Nintendo property in any way tangentially related to it, they freak out.
You know,
That's what it is.
There's a great Mallrats quote that applies directly to Nintendo. Anybody know what that quote might be?
I do not.
No? Brian, you
I'll
know.
probably know it as soon
Recite
as
the
you
whole
start it.
movie. You
Yeah.
just got to start the quote. I don't know what you're...
Finger on the pulse.
Oh,
Well,
yeah.
And that is them. This is the pulse. This is your finger on the pulse. This is your finger far from the pulse and straight up your ass.
Yeah.
That's what Nintendo. They have no idea. But it's like
I really think
they're
they
like
are so
they're
far
like
out
trying
of
to
touch.
teach your grandpa how to use a computer.
Yeah.
That's what they are now.
Don't even get me started on.
That's what they are. They're trying to teach your grandpa how to use a computer.
I'm on Nintendo's side with this.
They're so far out of touch, though.
Of course
like,
they are.
Yeah, okay.
Of course they are, dude. But if
Like, I understand that,
owned
but you can't do that.
If I owned an intellectual property as big as what they, you want to protect your stuff fiercely.
I
You
don't
but here's the thing.
disagree. I don't.
I'm talking about it from a business standpoint. I
I-
understand what they're doing. You don't want people out there making money on your designs, your inventions, your stuff.
I 100% agree. On the flip side, from a business standpoint, by allowing, that one. All right,
This
I
one's
didn't-
mine?
oh, yeah. By allowing things like an established tournament like Evo to showcase your game. That's
I'm not saying any
publicity for
one
it.
thing
Yeah.
in
But I'm
particular.
just saying, you know,
I'm saying in general, they're acting the same. You have to come up with a stringent policy. There's no gray area. It's either we're allowing people to use stuff or we're not. And Nintendo's on the not side. So it doesn't matter.
Well, they
how,
are.
Well,
They're
they
not.
are. They're not. If you're not making any money on it, like there are remakes of the Metroid games and
You can't go
You
after
can't.
that stuff.
You can't. They choose not to.
yeah, it's likeness rights.
As long as you aren't making money, they don't go after you. But as soon as you try to monetize something or there's money involved, then they're going after you.
But-
and I get that, but I think they're going at it the wrong way. I think they should have some kind of program in place where you can say, listen, I want to use this property.
like
Will you
to
give me
rent
approval?
their user rights. If we wanted to contact I Fight Dragons, go, hey, we want to use your song, we'll pay you royalties on it. Per whatever usage. There's simple works around. For perfect instances, Evo, Microsoft being on the fucking pulse, decided to showcase a new character for their fighting game this past weekend and let every single person at Evo play Killer Instinct. Now, Nintendo's got a fighting game coming out, one of their biggest franchises. They were going to pull it. They weren't going to let them... And I mean, we're not even talking about Smash Brothers Brawl. We're talking about fucking Melee.
The
GameCube.
Yeah.
GameCube. They're like, no, you can't use our game.
I don't know, man. Hey, you don't have to sell me on Nintendo being out of touch. I think
think
they're
that.
ridiculous with 90% of what they do, what they think, I'm just saying in that one thing I understand what they're saying.
In that regard, I
mean,
get
look
it,
at their
but-
fucking newest console. They saw the tablet craze, decided to throw a cheap piece of crap one as their center point. That is lower definition than the second screen that you're utilizing your television for, and they're like, "Oh, this will sell like crazy." No, it's not. Nobody wants to look at that terrible resolution screen. I don't know.
Especially in the day of
I
HDTV.
think-
And I'm like, why isn't this thing selling?
I think the Wii U is more of an extension of the DS style than as a tablet.
The whole
But
reason
it's
Nintendo
still- yeah.
succeeded was because their home consoles and their portables were so vastly different. You got to experience two different game styles within the same universes, and that
I think they
made
should've-
you want to buy both. They just made a plug-in DS on a big screen right now. They're like, why isn't this selling?
I think they should have done what Sony did and done remote play using a 3DS and had the 3DS have two.
That's all you had to do.
That's what they should have
Why
done.
didn't they just make a normal fucking console? Why don't they give up the gimmick thing? Paid off vastly for the Wii.
Once.
But it was
Move-
a cheap gimmick.
move the fuck
tablet
on.
is not
Yeah.
cheap. That's
Yeah.
the problem.
Well, the
Yeah.
point is it's a.
But it
all
is
the
cheap
times-
compared to every other tablet.
No,
it's such a
no.
piece of crap.
Well, it is. It's not a tablet.
It doesn't
That's
even
the
have
thing.
multi-touch.
But it's not a
Phones
well,
that they give away for free through Cricket and stuff have multi-touch.
There's a reason it doesn't have multi-touch, and it's a poor decision because it's using a resistive screen instead of capacitive, so you can't do multi-touch because resistive screens just don't work well with it. And they're sticking with the DS styling. It lets you draw better, which I think is one of the reasons they went with resistive, is it's better for drawing stuff. And if you go into the Miiverse, there's tons of people drawing on there. It looks really cool.
now they're gonna try to make money off of it and put out an app where you can draw shit now.
Yeah, but it won't work well on the tablets. On like actual tablets, it doesn't work that well. Unless
Well, no,
you
I'm
have a
saying
Windows,
for the Wii U shop
like
channel.
the
They're
eShop.
putting out
an actual drawing app. That could be. But the Miiverse has built-in simple drawing.
Yeah.
And I get why they did that to have the drawing, but I think they should have stuck with using the 3DS as a second screen to the Wii U, because it's not even a tablet. I mean, you call it. People are calling it a tablet. It's not. That thing does not work without the Wii U being on. All it is a touch screen with a video processor to receive video from the
It's
Wii U.
a Dreamcast controller with a better memory card screen.
Yes, that's what it is. That's exactly what it
Piece
is.
of garbage that nobody asked for.
Nintendo, with all their fucking gimmicks that they've pushed throughout the years, Power Glove, Virtual Boy.
Power Glove wasn't Nintendo, but Virtual Boy
Silent
was a
Scope.
gimmick.
Virtual Boy.
Super Scope.
Super
Yeah.
Scope.
Super Scope, whatever the fuck it was.
Every fucking gimmick, besides the handheld, the DS, which everybody, when they first saw it, what the fuck is this? Two-screen shit.
I thought it was dumb too when
Okay.
it first came out.
And
I got one for free.
And
so
the Wii, everything else has failed miserably. Gimmick-wise.
yeah,
Gimmick-wise.
gimmicks
I
always.
don't know.
fail.
Their Rumble Pack caught on.
That's because they gave it away for free with Star Fox.
The analog stick, even though they technically weren't the first, they weren't the first to make it that small.
But that wasn't really a gimmick.
that came out, but see that
It was the first of its anything can be considered a gimmick when it first came on. Those are the gimmicks that caught on.
Yeah, well, I'm talking more about, like, I mean, they didn't invent virtual reality.
What if motion
They didn't
gaming
invent-
actually worked and it didn't totally suck? And it would have caught on like wildfire.
Wait
then it
until
wouldn't have
you
been.
had
Machine it
Wait
can get
until
on
you get
actually
your Kinect
run
too.
in like.
they've got that. Have you seen that? There's a thing. There were some.
Are you talking about Oculus
Well,
Rift?
the Oculus Rift is for the goggles, but
Yeah.
someone's building a passive stand that you can stand on that has a motion sensor on it, and you wear shoes that
I'll
have a
kickstart it.
coating on them
I'll
to
kickstart
help
it.
you slip on it. It's
Yeah, I'll
pretty cool.
kickstart it.
But yeah, it's too
50
expensive.
bucks.
It's it's going to cost like $500 to implement it. So good
Ooh.
luck.
$500, that's it.
Next
Yeah.
sexy story.
Next sexy story.
More news!
China is considered. This is actually the last story of the week.
This is actually kind of a big one.
This is a big one, actually. China is considering overturning its 13-year ban on the sale of game consoles.
See, when you first started saying that, I thought of the former wrestler turned porn star, and you said China's overturning. I'm like, really? I mean, I know
She's
she
a
just
porn star?
I didn't know she did that.
hmm Yeah, her newest video is called "Backdoor to China."
I don't even want to know.
Tony's gonna go home and fucking.
I will
download
too.
it.
Get a pipe. No, that chick was always gross.
Yeah.
Yeah, I
agree.
never.
I agree.
Yeah.
And as long as one condition is met, they will lift the ban. That condition is for the companies like Sony, Nintendo, Microsoft to manufacture their products in Shanghai, the new free trade zone.
They do some of that already, although not Shanghai. And
It has to be in Shanghai.
I think Nintendo still produces in Japan, but Sony and Microsoft, I'd almost guarantee, are done it like far. In fact, the Xbox was done at Foxconn, right?
Well, actually, the ban doesn't allow you to actually assemble anything in China.
Yeah.
What you're allowed to do is ship parts in individually, assemble individual parts, and export them. And they have to be put together off of Chinese grounds. This is going to lift all that, but they want to bring in the business of being able to give the manufacturing jobs away. This is nothing but good news for all three major manufacturers.
Yeah.
You're opening
They would
the
be there
floodgates
instantly.
to the biggest country in the world,
Yeah.
population-wise. Sure, 50, 60, maybe even higher, I really don't have the stats, live in complete poverty. But the ones that don't,
Will buy instantly.
Yeah, they do. Look at
Well,
what
they
happened to
buy
Apple.
all these third-party
Yeah.
generic bullshit things.
Well, and China
I
had
have an
one called
iPad
the IQ
stove.
or something like that. There was one console that they released called the IQ.
Yeah.
Yeah.
this could potentially double sales. Like, you're hoping for 75, 80 million nowadays between the three major sections, which are North America, Europe, and Japan. You're hoping for around, not quite that much, like 60, and your other 15 million will come scattered throughout the rest of the globe. This could literally open you up to another 60 million people. You could almost double sales. This is crazy good news if this happens. There's a lot of limitations and bullshit on it because I was reading up on this. they're still not going to allow half the games. It's going to be worse than Australia with stuff not being. But I mean,
I still don't understand how a convict state has such heavy restrictions.
You want to hear something interesting about a convict state? Okay. Did you know that America was also partially a convict
Yeah,
state?
Yeah.
of course.
They never tell you that.
No,
But they were shipping people over here, too.
Uh-huh.
Yeah,
I knew that.
I knew that
yeah.
as well.
So, yeah, no, Australia.
Did you play Assassin's Creed? No.
No, not for, I didn't play Assassin's Creed. I haven't played any of them.
It's being a smart ass.
Who was it that was talking about that? I can't recall who was talking about that. But yeah.
Yeah.
America was one too. Not as much.
Two
And we
little-
also had the Puritans, but
But you know what?
For a while-
America lets a backdoor into China happen. Just saying.
the last
that's
two.
just how we roll.
yeah,
there.
but you know,
Tony's gonna
they
text
do.
me
There are
tonight.
people who
What's the
try,
name
there
of
are
that?
people, there are people who try to stop that though in this country, like in Congress and all. So they try to, but they get away with it in Australia, not here.
State of Decay and Saints Row all had to make special versions just to
Australia.
pass in Australia.
They've done that for other countries.
It's
in the
gonna
past.
be
yeah.
it's
It was a
gonna
big
be
deal in
worse.
Germany for a
Japan's
while.
still like that. If you look at the Ratchet and Clank games, they're just even like with all those sexual innuendos that
Yeah.
we were talking about earlier. They're not allowed on their covers.
That's really weird.
They call them
Japan
something completely different.
That is weird because
Ratchet
they
and
are
Clank.
usually more okay with that. I would have thought.
Not with game title. No,
That's weird.
America's way more lenient.
America.
The more you know. Sexy news.
Boo-doo-boo. You didn't even let him do it the first time we went video.
Damn it, I didn't think I'd give up that type of stuff.
You kind of went Craig.
That's
Ferguson
what it
there
looks
with
like,
that.
by the way. Did you see it? That's what Mark does every week. I love the visual. People can finally see what the fuck we're doing all this time.
Let's see if we decide to put this up.
You better.
Oh, it's going
Just
up.
that part.
I like it.
Well, I guess it's time for. We don't really.
Male of the G-like nature.
We don't really.
Yeah.
Since it's summer and everybody's kind of busy and whatnot, we don't really have a whole lot of questions.
You're out doing stuff, you awful people.
We already-
Yeah, enjoying your summer.
enjoying
What
the
fuck is
nice
wrong with
weather.
you?
We already answered Lysios's. Metroid Android.
What's up, Andrew?
So-
It was his birthday 2 days ago.
It's my
Happy birthday, good sir.
It's my birthday.
So, as tradition dictates here on Forward Compatible, we're going to turn it over to Tony for a moment.
No, that's gonna be
No,
topic of the week song.
you do it. No, you do it twice. We've done this before. You do it when the
I'm a
birthday shout-out.
forgetful son of a
We
bitch.
do it for the birthday shout out. So go ahead.
Boo-doo-boo-doo, boo-doo-boo-doo-doo. Happy birthday, Metro Android.
All right. For his birthday, he wants to hear more GameStop stories.
Really?
That is a present we can grant, good sir.
So I don't. Who wants to kick it off with a GameStop story?
I worked there probably the least amount of time, so I probably have the least amount of GameStop stories.
Okay. So you go first.
I was trying to set you fuckers going, and then I could hopefully piggyback off some shit.
Mark, you're besides Tony, you're the most current. So
Yeah.
why don't you go
Let's
ahead?
see. One of my first crazy GameStop stories was on. It would probably have been 2007 or 2008, and it was New Year's Eve. Yeah, it was New Year's Eve, and we had this like Mexican guy come in.
Why's it got to be Mexican?
Well, he
Hispanic?
was.
Is there,
No, he was Mexican. He was Mexican. He wasn't. I don't know. Like,
why are you getting all racist? Did you smell bean dip on his breath?
he was eating it in the store.
I don't know.
So anyway, he comes in with about 20 minutes before we close, and about 5 minutes left. You know, we let him know, hey, or no, it's 10 minutes. 10 minutes, we're like, hey, we're getting, we got 10 minutes and stuff. He literally stood looking at the wall on his phone, like spacing out for 10 minutes. And, it was time to close, and we went up to him like, hey, if you want to make your purchases, come out now, we want to, close up. Flips shit. He fucking started throwing shit on like the ground, like what he had in his hand, and he was just all about saying, I was gonna buy like 10 games for my kid. He was in the 10 and under rack as well. So we may have made $20. So he was
that
like,
matters unless you're the store manager. You don't care about fucking
oh,
sales.
shit, no.
You get paid the same.
No, I don't care.
You get no bonuses.
And literally flips crap saying how his kids, like, he's doing this for him, and his kids aren't gonna like let him come home because he's gonna like.
You can't come home, Daddy. Where's my fucking video
He
game?
absolutely flips shit. So literally, he's walking out the door, and we have like a door where you just can't slam it. So he of course he tries to slam it closed, and on the way out, I just didn't care. I thought it was the most ridiculous thing ever. And I said, have a nice New Year. And he comes back and he opens back the door up. He looks around and he goes, fuck you. And he walks out, tries to slam it again, and goes, cameras and such.
Oh.
Oh, your screensaver kicked out. Why'd you turn that off?
Oh, turn it off! Screensaver!
Turn it off!
Let's hope it's still working.
Turn it off!
That would be probably one of my first weird GameStop stories.
I got one.
Really quick, before Brian's got a late breaking news story here.
Oh, is it really that? Is that okay? Martian Manhunter is coming to Injustice Gods Among Us as DLC, that's all.
Who?
Martian Manhunter.
Yeah, that guy.
Yeah, that guy.
Have you started watching Justice League like you asked me on fucking Netflix?
I got there a few episodes.
Okay, he's the green guy who shapeshifts.
Oh, okay, I know that.
So basically
guy.
Shang Tsung.
No, Martian Manhunter.
Well, but he's the same
He's from
mechanic.
fucking Mars.
Shang Tsung
Where's
is
he
from
from?
Outworld.
Seattle.
No. Fucking Mars.
Yeah, exactly. Go ahead with your GameStop story.
Okay, I had one. This happened to me like 2 weeks ago. So I got this cat coming in, and I'm gonna stay away from what ethnicity he's from. He is, because that's irrelevant to the story. Mark.
He was black, wasn't he?
Wow.
Why's he got
Wow.
Nice.
He was.
Tony, there's a camera.
I
still
know,
saw it.
That's why he did this. So that really doesn't matter though. He walked
No,
in.
it
So he brings in a pre-owned copy of The Last of Us. No power-up card. And what that means is I can't, and no receipt. The power-up card allows you, the GameStop employee, to actually look back and see what they bought, whether or not they have the receipt. So without a power-up card and without a receipt, there was no way for us to do anything. Now, I knew the game was only like 8 or 9 days old, so I would have been happy to do it anyway, because there's no way for him to have bought a pre-owned copy outside of our return zone.
Yeah.
So I didn't really care anyway. So I'm trying to be cool with this guy, and I'm like, hey, cool. All right, so it doesn't work. That's fine, dude. We'll defect it out for you. I'll set you up an R1. So we don't have any in the store because it's a brand new fucking game. Nobody traded in yet. I don't even know how this guy found a pre-owned copy in the first place. The discs look fine, whatever. I don't care. I don't care at that place. I'm just like, dude, that's fine. I'll trade it out for you. So we don't have one. So I search in the computer and find out where we got one. There's one like 4 or 5 miles away. I start explaining to the dude. I'm like, well, we don't have one in the store. Let me look around. He flips out at me. He starts screaming about how this is bullshit and he's not going to another store, and he already tried this at another store and they rejected him because of the lack of receipt, which was totally within our rights to do anyway. He's flew out, and then I had to cut him after he was done ranting. I'm like, sir, I'll do it. I don't have a copy to give you. Nobody's traded this in yet. This is a brand new game. So he starts freaking out. Then he's like, well, I just want to return it. I'm like, well, and he's like, let me get my money back. I'm like, well, for that, you do need the receipt. I'm like, I can't just hand you money. So then he starts screaming at me some more. I'm like, I'm just looking at him, and the manager's sitting next to me, and she's just like not stepping in at all. And that's cool. I'm like, oh, that's cool. I got this. I'm like, because I don't give a shit. I don't let people get to me. I'm just like,
I'm just saying, like, from a management standpoint.
Yeah, when I'm there with my store manager and anybody says anything, right away he jumps in our defense. Even if I'm like, dude, I got this, it's cool. I know how to handle people. He'll jump in and right away take over.
Was this was the manager?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's why.
Yeah, and she's just like looking
She's
at me,
really timid.
and I'm just like, all right, don't worry, I got it. So eventually I calm the dude down. I'm like, listen, dude, I want to do this for you before you freaked out. I'm like, I don't have one to offer to you. If you would like, I can call the other store, explain what happened, tell them to hold it for you, even till tomorrow, even though we're not supposed to do that, because holds are over at closing every day. I'm like, we'll take care of it, dude. I'll call over to them, be like, there's no way you're going to make it there tonight, because there's already like 8-something. I'm sure they'll be happy to oblige with everything that's happening. We understand you lost your receipt. We know there's no way you bought this longer than 7 or 8 days ago. Everything will be okay. Is that satisfactory? Then he calmed down. Then he's like, all right, cool, let's do that. So I had to call over. I think it was like the Brickyard or something. And
Oh, dicks.
I had to explain to them what happened, and they weren't happy about it because
They're dicks.
it's gonna go against their numbers. But
All you had to do just as an FYI, would have been to return it onto a gift card for them. Then they wouldn't have taken.
Then I would have taken the hit.
So,
Why take the number hit? Why?
Just saying. And from a
When you could
management
pawn it over.
standpoint, yeah.
Oh, I know.
I couldn't stand, and Brian never did this, but other managers, where I'd just have somebody just tearing into me, and they're just standing there. I'm like, really? I'm gonna tell this guy to go fuck off if you don't come over here. You know?
I handled it very, very calmly. That's not the first person I've had snap on me at GameStop.
No.
It happens.
You got one?
Oh, do I? I always have one. I think the one that popped out to me first was the guy who had a reserve for the Jet Li game. Was it Rise of Honor? I think it was Rise of Honor.
Yeah, some shit like that.
And it had come out like several months prior, maybe even a year prior. And he came back wanting his reserve money for it the game he'd never picked up.
Mm-hmm.
No receipt. And the reserve was not in our box.
Okay.
Because this is back before it was computerized. Everything was like in a box.
Mm-hmm.
And he's screaming bloody murder. I want my money back. You're ripping me off. Blah, 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 screaming. I don't have a receipt. I was like, you don't have a receipt. And I don't have your name here, in this box. I'm sorry. If you don't have a receipt, I can't give you. He's like, it's in there. You're lying to me. I'm like, here, you can look through all of them. I turned the box around to him. He's like, find your name in this box, and I'll give you the refund for it.
Mm-hmm.
He's got all pissed at me about that. And then stormed out, sat in his truck outside the store for like half an hour. Then came back in with a receipt. Here's my receipt. Give me my fucking money. Game was not on the receipt. There was no reserve on the receipt for anything. It's like, sir, the reserve is not on here. This is a GameStop receipt, you're right, but the reserve of your game is not on here. Looks at me, storms out again, leaves the receipt, drives away. Comes back like a half an hour later with the receipt. And it was like for a different game.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, it was $5. So all that madness
Wasted more in gas.
on $5. Well, this was back in like 2005. So this is before gas was quite so high.
So he probably broke even.
Yeah, he probably broke even.
I had that happen to me at Sears once.
And there was some serious yelling. Like
I used to work retail at Sears, and I had a person come into me with the receipt that another store, because back then we used to price match. I don't know if they still do. They came in with an ad to show that their product that they bought for $29.99, I believe it was on sale at Home Depot for $29.68.
Seriously?
That's what I said to them. I looked at them and I'm like, seriously? I didn't even want to do the journal tape. I reached into my pocket, pulled out a quarter and went here. And then just looked at them and they took it and walked away. It was like the saddest thing I ever seen. Like, this was back when gas was really cheap. It was one of my first jobs when I was like 16 or 17. So back then gas was like $1.80 something. I'm like, how was that worth your time to come to Sears to do all this? You really have that little to do to come in for a fucking quarter?
So I used to work at a GameStop in a mall.
Those are really awful.
It was one of my favorite places to work for GameStop.
Weird.
Because you get a lot of tourists and people from other countries. And I was...
was this a mall that used to have a fountain in the middle of it?
Yeah, it's Golfville. I don't have problems saying that.
Okay.
Angry Andy used to work for me at GameStop. And he and I were working.
Is that how you guys met? Or, okay.
Actually, I hired him. But he had worked there previously, but then left, and then I hired him after we hired Adam. And we're working, and this very large, and this is very integral part of the story. German woman walks in from Germany, okay, and she proceeds to look around the store, and she's giggling and everything, and she walks up to Angry Andy and asks if he knows where the nearest sex shop is. Okay, she then proceeds, and I honest to God think she was hitting on him. And if you look at Angry Andy hates all forms of humanity. Okay?
He's a sexy bitch.
Either way. She proceeds to pick up a set of AV cables and asks Andy if you could use them as a whip. Okay. She picks up disc cleaner.
What is that, the cat of nine?
Yeah.
tail
Yeah,
or-
Nine Tails, yeah.
The disc scratch fixer stuff. Comes
Lube?
in the little... She asked him if you could use it as lube. So I think this very large German chick seriously wanted to fuck Andy. And,
Either
and,
she really wanted to fuck with Andy.
and no, she was being serious.
Was she?
She
Okay.
was, yeah, like finger on the
I
lip.
wonder if he'd angrily fuck her.
I was laughing at the counter so hard, and he was like looking at me like, "What do I do here?" I'm just laughing at him.
Help! I need an adult.
I'm just laughing at him.
I'm only like
so
18.
hard.
Stranger danger.
I went into the back room and locked the door because he tried to walk back there. And I'm watching him on the camera for the next 20 minutes as this woman, and he's trying to like file stuff on the wall, and she's following him around the store, wanting that angry dick.
Wow.
Yeah,
It reminds me of.
I have a story. It's not GameStop, but
doesn't count then.
I worked in a mall at a GameStop where I almost killed somebody.
What?
Well, you remember the shoe store I used to work at? This guy came in, and it was a discount shoe store, and we had a pair of shoes. It was like $10, and they were half off. So $10, half off of $20.
Okay.
The guy comes up and says, "Sears has these for $5. Will you price match?" I said, "No. They're already
Sears,
half off."
by the way, Sears was right next to the shoe
Sears was
store.
10 feet away.
Yeah.
Literally, like if you walked out the store and like walked 20 steps, you were inside Sears. I said no. I was like, I can't do that. They're already half off. I'm not taking any more off. He says, well, Sears would price match. I'm like, then go to
fucking
Sears. And he started saying very rude things to me, making a bunch of personal attacks, some of which were not true, some of which were. To the point
You
where
have lovely eyes.
attacks, not compliments.
Well, if
Your legs go on for
if
days.
you say it in a very angrily way, is it really a compliment?
Many of them things that would not be unheard of to hear on Xbox Live.
Yeah.
And some that were actual
You
personal
make
attacks.
fun of your mom? Aww.
You know, he didn't say anything about my mom. He questioned my sexuality,
Really?
then made fun of my height and my hair.
Really?
And his mom got in on the game. His mom started making fun of me as well.
Oh my
I was
God.
like, get out of my store. Just get out. And they kept talking smack. This store had a gate they had to pull down with a long hook. I grabbed the hook. I said, get out of my store. And they're walking out of the store talking shit. And I walked out with the hook. Get out of my store with the hook raised. And the guy who was working with me was like, Brian. I was really mad.
Oh, jeez.
I was like, Brian, stop. And he's like grabbed me on the shoulder. Brian, don't. What are you doing? I'm like, this guy is gonna get his head caved in if he doesn't get out of my store. And people who know me know I'm not usually quick to anger.
Unless you're
But
at a
if
movie theater.
Unless I'm at a movie theater. But as soon as I get set off, as soon as it sets me off, I go full on anger. There's no like middle point with me.
Yeah.
There's no like calm rationalizing.
I will kill you.
I'm rational, crazy motherfucker. So yeah.
One quick little one. When my store was slow, and back when GameStop used to take DVDs,
I hated that.
I would call the stores and ask for Star Wars Episode 69, and I actually had was his name Adrian or something?
Yeah,
at
Adrian Civic, yeah.
He actually tried to what game? You have Star Wars?
I've had.
69?
Did you have people bring in porn?
Yeah.
I had people bring in porn. It was
Yeah.
hilarious.
Best
I had
one
that
ever.
happen with Jason once. So
Best-
fucking.
Best
Go
one
ahead.
ever. Best one ever though. Is I called him up and this guy was super gullible about it. And all you have to do is put on like a Latka voice from Taxi a little bit. You know, like, do you have Mario Party Party?
That's the one I was gonna fucking talk about. So my first GameStop I worked at got closed down. So I was out of the game. That was right when we started the podcast.
Yeah.
And then I got hired to another GameStop
You're
through
welcome.
A mutual friend of mine. Well, more Jason's friend at the time. And then
If you follow what GameStop thought, Jay and I were close personal friends, and that's why we couldn't work together.
yeah. So I got hired to another one. So this was like my first fucking week there, and I'm trying to make a good impression again, and trying to get back in the swing of things.
Boy didn't care.
So, yeah, before I had it in my back pocket again. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
I fucking know this. You know what I mean? I was trying to relearn everything. I was out of the game for 6 months. I didn't remember how to pre-order shit. I didn't remember
You still-
my
you
pitches,
still don't.
my pitches that used to work and stuff.
Sorry, Jay still doesn't know him either.
So
I have
get
to
on the
tell I have to
internet.
tell Tony how to use the computer when I'm
oh,
there.
get the fuck out of here! I got this shit. Your memory's off. You tell me start hitting keystrokes and it's not there anymore. You forgot.
I'll run circles
Oh,
around you.
man.
We'll find out this fall.
I just remember how quick I was
So-
with the old DOS
Yeah.
version. Oh man. Anyway, go
So
ahead.
anyway, so I'm still trying to relearn everything, and I'm trying to take everything serious and be polite to everybody. And fucking Jason calls the store, and I'm working with the store manager. So I'm trying to be on point with everything, you know what I mean, to make sure he's happy with me and stuff. and I get the call, and it's excuse me, you have Mario Party Party, and I'm like, what? I heard all I heard was Mario at this point. So I'm like, oh, in my head I'm like, fuck, what did this fucking person say? And I'm like, excuse me, I didn't understand that. One more time. Mario Party Party, and I'm like, I'm sorry, Mario what? And then Jay just looks at me. He's like, dude, hang up. It's fucking Jason.
You guys know you have caller ID there, right?
I don't have.
That's how he knew. That's how he knew.
Yeah.
That's how Jay knew.
He
it was
won't
me.
pick up when I call because he's like, oh, Brian, I
He
don't,
won't pick
I don't
up
have
when
to pick
I
up
call.
when Brian calls.
He'll start. Thank you for. What do you want?
Yeah.
I think that's good.
Yeah.
I had what,
Satisfactory birthday
well,
present.
one
Oh,
more
go
quickie.
ahead.
So the porn that I got brought was Legend of the Overfiend, which is hentai, tentacle hentai, and the guy tried to pass it off as arts. He said, "This is not pornography. This is arts." And I said, "There are tentacles violating a woman. That's pornography.
Penetration, good sir.
Fine if you're into it. Not art."
Okay. So I know.
So you took it in anyway.
I know we're gonna do
No,
something.
they didn't allow it.
We're gonna do something kind of cool with part 2, but I've got some quick fire rapid questions that I'm gonna ask you, gentlemen. It'll be really quick.
Sounds good. No, take your time.
One word answers. That's
First
what
thing
I'm
that
looking-
pops in our head?
First thing that pops into your head.
Yes.
Okay.
Is it everyone, or do you have individual questions for everybody?
Everyone. Okay. So I'll call out who I want to answer first. Okay.
We're all not going to do it? Oh,
Everybody's gonna do it, but
I'll follow your lead, good sir. I'll follow your lead.
All right. So we're gonna start off with Mark.
Okay.
All right, Mark. If you could have any video game power up, what would it be?
Flying.
Tony.
Flying. Does it have to be different?
Yeah. Come on. Like, what was it?
Super high jump.
Any power?
Any
Gravity
power.
suits.
Okay. If you could have any 2 video game characters appear in a crossover game, what 2 characters would you pick? Tony.
Nathan Drake and Kratos.
Okay. Brian.
Oh, jeez. I don't know.
Come on. Two characters pop in your head.
Samus and Master Chief. Why
Okay.
not?
Mark.
Marcus and Clank.
Okay.
That'd be
Brian.
awesome.
I know.
Brian, if you were a Mortal Kombat character, what would your fatality be?
I'd ignore you to death. I don't know.
Tony.
Have you ever seen Ugly Americans?
Yes.
Yeah.
There's that one episode with the fucking half people, half duck things,
Okay.
where they fight each other by cock slapping each other.
Okay.
Yeah. I would do that. Just fucking this to knock people out.
I would do a Hurricane.
A what?
Isn't it called Hurricane on WWE?
Hurricanrana?
Hurricane. There you go. Hurricane.
Okay, Mark, if you could hook up with any video game character, who would you pick?
Warcraft.
Tony.
Damn it.
Girl from
I'm
Gears.
debating between Elena and Chloe.
Okay, both.
Right. Threesome.
Samus.
Samus.
Obviously.
Tony, pick a Pokemon. Who would you pick?
I don't know any Pokemon.
You gotta know
The yellow one.
Okay,
Pikachu.
Mewtwo. Why not?
Mew.
Mark, what's your favorite video game logo?
Like as a game or company?
Whatever.
Company.
Naughty Dog.
Brian.
I have no idea. Smash Brothers has some good ones.
It's a defunct company, but bizarre creations. The Pumpkinhead with the evil eyes. That was fucking awesome.
Brian, what do you like on your pizza?
Bacon and or sausage.
Tony.
Sausage and pepperoni.
Mark.
Pepperoni, sausage, green pepper, and garlic.
Mark, how do you like your eggs?
Scrambled.
Tony.
Over easy.
Unfertilized. The doom.
Tony, if you were a pro wrestler, what would your wrestling name be?
Thunder bitch.
I've actually been given some aggressive nicknames. Tiny Fist of Fury was a popular one.
DJ Eruption.
Okay, these are going to be really quick. You got to pick one or the other, okay? Tony, Goomba or Turtle?
Turtle.
Brian.
Goomba.
Mark.
Goomba.
All right, Godzilla or King Kong? Brian.
King Kong.
Godzilla.
King Kong.
Bowser or Donkey Kong?
Bowser.
Bowser.
DK.
Kirby or Yoshi?
Don't care. Kirby.
Yoshi.
Yoshi.
Peanut butter or Nutella?
Nutella.
Peanut butter.
Nutella.
Coke or Pepsi?
Coke.
Dr. Pepper.
No, Coke or Pepsi?
Dr. Pepper.
Coke.
All right, vanilla or chocolate?
Vanilla.
Vanilla.
Racists.
I knew that was funny.
Vanilla.
All right, hot dogs or hamburgers?
Hamburgers.
Burger.
Burger.
Call of Duty or Battlefield?
Call of Duty.
Neither. I don't play them.
Over the course of the entire
Jesus
franchise, Call of Duty, but lately Battlefield.
Okay, 2D or 3D?
2D.
2D.
3D.
All right, backwards compatible or forwards compatible?
I am obligated forward.
I will slap you. Forward fucking compatible.
As always, you can visit us on our official website, FwdCompatible.org. You can like us on Facebook, which is Forward Compatible Podcast. We are on Twitter at FCompatible. We're on YouTube, youtube.com/ForwardCompatible. We're available on iTunes and Stitcher. PlayStation Network and Xbox Live is FWD compatible. We're also on Skype, which is Forward Compatible, one word. We are now available on Twitch and Ustream. And our Steam community group is steamcommunity.com/groups/FWD compatible. And as always, you can send us your questions, which our email address is forwardcompatiblepodcast@gmail.com. Do you have a Impoverished Geek question of the week?
I kind of forgot until
Okay.
right now.
Okay. So,
I totally forgot to start morphing my Gmails.
Yeah.
Mark, you missed this. It slipped my mind. I wanted to start the evolution of the yelling of Gmail.
Okay.
And slowly get to the point where we're not even uttering any fucking words. Forward compatible podcast .com.
nobody answered Moss's Legend of Zelda question. from
Should we
last week.
leave it for another week? Or because I don't even know the fucking answer.
I know the answer,
Yeah,
but we're not going to
yeah.
give it out because they didn't answer it. So
No,
we're gonna-
take that. That's
Are we
what you
giving
get.
the same
We're going
prize
to
for
give the
this week?
same the humble bundle that
It's been
Brian
on for a
picked
while
up.
now.
You want to step it up and do it 2 humble bundles? 'Cause
you
they're
want
like-
we want to step it up to do 2 humble bundles.
The-
Should we step it up and
The
give them 2
weekly
humble
humble bundle
bundles?
this week is actually really good if you're a nerd. It's the complete Spiderweb software collection.
Okay.
Which is a bunch of retro RPGs.
Okay. Let's do it. Let's do it. All right. So we're gonna up the game. 2 humble bundles for the Impoverished Geek question of the week. Do you have a question?
Yeah, let me see. Do you think
Don't ask me. You just
okay.
ask it.
Try to make it something not too super easily Googleable. Googleable.
Okay, give me a second. Just,
All right.
No, go ahead. Whatever you got to
Yeah.
do.
Whatever you got.
We
Whatever.
can't.
You
We
got.
can't keep waiting on the show
all right.
unless somebody wants to kill Dead Air. Jason, Beavis and Butthead. Why is it the fucking so funny?
Oh yeah, I gotta go up.
Okay.
They got the loosest slots in all of
Beavis and
Vegas.
Butthead or South Park?
Beavis and Butthead.
I will South Park.
South Park.
I'm OG, dude.
South Park.
I'm OG too. Beavis and Butthead's probably the 3rd funniest cartoon of all time.
What you got?
What game system was the first to come equipped with a modem that clogged up phone lines in Europe for many of the first-time users?
So, what was the first video game system to come with a modem that clogged up Europe? Right.
Clogged
When we get
Europe.
off the air, I got a
have a guess on
concern.
that
I have a
one.
concern about this
Really?
because I know the one, but I don't know if it clogged Europe.
Okay. All right. Well, that's gonna make it even more
Yeah,
tricky.
it's gonna make it
work.
all
right.
That's why it's worth 2 goddamn humble bundles.
2 humble bundles. You ready?
Yeah. This has been episode 75, part 1. Thanks for tuning in, guys. Catch us next week, same time, same place.
Oh shit. We want you to email us the answer at forwardcompatiblepodcast at gmail.com. And by the way, it is Luigi's 30th birthday today.
Happy birthday, Luigi. I don't know what that
was
accent
pretty
was.
on cue, actually.
Old
Do I have to
bastard.
close this out again
No,
now?
this is what we've been doing. We did it last week too. We have like a little post few seconds here.
I didn't even hear it.
Yeah.
Awful.
Yeah.
When I walked away to pee or whatever, you guys kept going,
Yeah.
you dicks. What's the point of the closeout if you're going to keep going past
Because
the
we
closeout?
let the song play at the end.
I don't know.
All right, now we're done.
You're a filthy whore.
Goodbye.
Sluts.